included in what we do for downtown Indiana. And so this year, we're back at 701 Philadelphia Street in the former Gaddy building, and we'll have different stations inside what was formerly Gaddy Pharmacy in the front part, because there is a business in the back now. But we'll be in the front part. We're right now setting everything up. And one of our stations is going to be, and I'll put that on the Facebook Live.
I see that.
Your little guy would like this, Ben. This is a great activity book. Look, little recipes in there.
Oh, yeah.
Puzzles, stories, Christmas stories.
Very
and
nice.
so they can color, they can do a little puzzle. And so this is all, again, made by our graphics students at ICTC. And so they've created the booklet. And inside, they even have a postcard that children can fill out with their list for Santa and mail that off to Santa at the North Pole.
Nice.
And we also have some nice holiday stickers for the students to have and put wherever they would like, maybe on their postcard to dress it up so Santa really notices their list.
How nice is that?
It would be great to have. But our students in graphics will be handing these out at Gaddy Pharmacy on Friday night, 4:30 to 6:30, right there at 701 Philadelphia Street. And then, again, partnering with downtown, we will have these in IRMC Park all Saturdays during the festival. Yeah, so when any families come to see Santa during that time, they may want to pick up an activity book.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ben Hollabaugh and his electrician students,
Yes.
they've already been hard at work.
They have, yeah. And I don't want to underplay that either, because our construction trades have really taken on some projects for pre-parade time as well. And all of that will be evident Friday night and then throughout the festival as well. So Friday's light up night, right? So who better to bring to the microphone than our electrical occupations instructor, Mr. Ben Hollenbach.
Yeah, if he's not doing it, then we're not getting all lit up.
That's right.
And some people do get lit up at the holidays. We'll talk about that in some other segment. But,
That's not an ICTC segment, Todd. Sorry.
You're right about that. But light up night's a big deal, isn't it, Ben?
It is, yeah. Every year we get those the sheds and some of the decorations for up on Philly Street, and we fix them up, put them together, try and improve them, make them a little better than last year's. So
yeah,
turned out pretty good, I think.
Well, we remember a lot of the decorations that we see around town are left over from the old Festival of Lights that used to be held at the Blue Spruce Park. And I don't know if you've had a chance to work on any of those, but they're a challenge.
Yeah, we did. I remember when I went to ICTC, we worked on a lot of those still.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I graduated in 07, and whenever I remember going to a location and working on a lot of lights with our instructors. So
yeah,
I'm sure that was some of them, I would bet.
And we had some of those last year, I believe, because you did some bulb replacement.
Correct.
Those.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think the stars are left over from something too, because it looks pretty old. So it looks like it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But that's great training, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of troubleshooting. I mean, it's a lot of, encouraging them to try and figure out what it is and why it's not working and why it needs to be better. You know what I mean? Or what challenges there might be from hooking things up. The sheds, like something that we did with them was updated a little bit because they, I'm sure they're going to get cold. They're going to plug in heaters, things like that. So we thought, well, how can we try and keep them from having to constantly reset a breaker? So we had to go and rewire some of that stuff and make it work for them. And we updated their lights, made their lights a little bit better so they can see what they're doing in there. And I definitely think it's a good change.
Yeah, well, that's probably an underrated aspect of an electrician's job is figuring out loads.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's something that I try and pass on to them. We actually do it in real time for a lot of stuff, and we did it actually with another thing that we're going to be working on here soon, and we were able to figure out that we'll be all right on that. But same thing, we all brought everybody together, and here's what we do, and here's how we do it, and it's a nice skill to have. For sure.
How tempting is it as an instructor to be able to look at something and apply your experience to it and say, okay, here's what needs to be done, this, and this, as opposed to sitting back and letting them figure it out themselves?
It's very tempting. Some of them want you to just tell them what to do, of course, but for the most part, it's essentially, you sit down with them and you try and curb yourself from being like, well, here's how you do it. Obviously, you want to pass on any mistakes or problems you made in the past so they don't make the same ones, but you also don't want to do it all for them either. So a lot of times if a student says, well, why can't I do it this way? I'll say, well, why don't you try it that way and we'll see how it is. As long as it's nothing dangerous, I let them try.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work, then they'll say, well, what happened? And I'll say, well, what did happen? You know, they'll think their way through it. And then finally I'll say, well, here's what's going on. Here's why it's wrong. And here's why we need to do it the way that I mentioned doing it, you know?
Yeah. The safety element of what you teach the students at ICTC is obviously very, very important. But in this particular setting, it's doubly important because there are going to be people around those displays and around those areas. And we need to ensure their safety as well as the students and everybody else.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we try and keep everything protected. We don't have anything exposed, nothing like that. Short from someone like taking out a bulb and messing with it, everything should be pretty sound. Everything's waterproof, weather tight. So if it snows, rains, sleets, everything should be totally fine out there. So yeah, definitely a big thing about safety. We wanted to make sure everything was protected, make sure everything was hooked up correctly, obviously, so that it works the way it should if something were to happen. So, but yeah, it's about as safe as it can get. So
I think one of the most interesting aspect of doing what it is that you do is that you're using students who are first year in the program and students who have been in the program for a very long time. And so those seniors that have the experience that the younger students are just now beginning to get, they can play a little bit of a mentorship role, number one, but as well, they can, you have to find ways that all of them can feel like they're really contributing here. And so you do that.
absolutely. Yeah, I actually just had that yesterday. We were doing some conduit training, and we were using a portaband saw, and I explained the safety of it and how to do it properly. And then one of my students came over, and I said, hey, why don't you be like a supervisor and kind of make sure nobody hurts themselves, you know what I mean? And I stood back and let him kind of do that job while they were doing it. He did a great job. So, yeah, I try and mentor them themselves. The same thing goes for when we get new students or even shadow students. I'll grab one of my first years or second years, and I'll pass them on and try and let everybody know, like, not too long ago they were a beginner too.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to help you through it. So
Now, once this gets done, It's a Wonderful Life Light Up Night and all of the things that you'll be doing there, are your students still involved throughout the festival time, or do you move on to the next thing?
for the most part, I would say we move on to the next thing. But obviously, if they need something fixed, they'd be glad to stop down and check it out. I came down yesterday and installed some candy canes on the line so that no one hits their face on the lines that are holding the tree up. And then while I was down there, I walked around everything and made sure everything looked okay and things like that. Moved a couple bulbs around to make sure everything was working. But it's good.
There's classroom work, of course, with ICTC in electricity, but then there's getting out into the field and actually working on projects,
Right.
And which I'm sure is very exciting for the students to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
But once you get those fundamentals down in the classroom, then getting the chance to get outside and put it to work has to be really big for them.
Yeah, they get very excited. They'll even come in and say, hey, Mr. Hollabaugh, over the weekend I fixed my aunt's, whatever. And I'll say, that's great. What was wrong with it? And they'll tell me, oh, I found this problem or you know what I mean? And they're very excited whenever especially when they troubleshoot and find an issue, they get very excited about that, which is a good thing. That is one of the best parts of the job is someone saying, I have no idea what's wrong. It's not working. And then you go down there, you use your skills, and next thing you know, it's working. And they go, man, how'd you figure that out? It's like, well, this is what I do. So
They're learning so much at a young age that they take for granted how valuable they are.
Yeah,
And because
absolutely.
that becomes apparent over time, I believe. So as they get older, they understand, oh, I can do this. Not everybody can. And this is how I can contribute.
They probably, too, when you get to the holidays around their own houses, they can say to mom and dad, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't run that. Don't run that extension cord under the carpet. You can't do that. And just, overloading circuits, that all of those different things, they probably step right in and say, hey, here's what I've learned at school. This is what, this is how it should be done.
Yeah. I don't want anybody looking like Ralph Parker's dad with the Christmas tree, or the Griswolds. Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot.
Big part of it. So ICTC and the electrical students that are working hard there, and so many other students that are.
And I think
all
the other
involved.
project that Mr. Hollenbaugh alluded to was that I also want to give a big shout out to our carpentry instructor who was here with us in September as a new instructor in carpentry. Mr. Wargo and his students, along with Mr. Hollenbaugh, and our HVAC instructor, Mr. Mumaw. Those three construction trades have worked together to make what I believe the very best ICTC float that we have had.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a new look this year, and it is so cool. Very, very awesome. Kids love it, and I can't say enough about this construction trades crew that really contributed in every way to make it what it is going to be.
No stone left unturned in that one.
So get ready for the Technology Express, Todd.
Yeah,
it's coming
it's gonna be
down
great.
Philadelphia Street Friday night.
Going to be in the parade on Friday night, and that's a challenge, isn't it? Because now you're not fixed; you're actually mobile. And,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
therefore
Yes.
there are different issues to deal with.
Exactly. That was one of the things we were calculating was, will the generator we have be enough to do what we need it to do? So luckily it's more than capable, so we shouldn't have any issues there.
Carpentry knocked it out of the park with the
absolutely.
layout. Electrical has lit it up, and our HVAC added a little special touch as well. So it is really come together so nicely. And it's a project like that I always love talking about when I talk about ICTC and what we have to do, because when you can say, we want to do this, and they add this, and they add that, and somebody else adds something else, that makes it really rewarding.
Yeah, and a big part of that as well is that after the parade, which is its debut, you're going to be driving that to work every day.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a good thing. Yes,
Yeah.
the Express.
That'd be nice. And I
Yes.
suppose you shouldn't have to see it just once.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we have it planned that it was built in such a way that it will return next year.
Oh, nice.
And we'll be adding to
With
it.
the
Even better.
enhancements.
Yeah.
Yes,
even
with
better.
enhancements. So each year it'll look a little different, a little better. This year for sure is a great debut, and then we're looking forward to the years to come.
All right. Hey, we're running out of time very rapidly here. So what else do we need to know?
Well, I just want to remind everyone that we'll be in the Gaddy Building, 701 Philadelphia Street, 4:30 to 6:30, not only giving out coloring books, but cosmetology, doing face painting and airbrush tattoos, digital communications, taking holiday photographs of families and children, and then our culinary program, just like your scones, giving out fresh popcorn and iced, or they're not iced, I'm sorry. They are sugar ICTC cookies. So free cookies and popcorn and those coloring activity books. So a lot of freebies, a lot of family-friendly activities coming out of Gaddy Pharmacy. The float will be in the parade. ICTC's lit up in IRMC Park, so we are so excited to be here at the festival time.
Yeah. And you're in the former Gaddy Pharmacy right now, too. This building used to be that, too.
Oh, really?
This is the original Gaddy Pharmacy.
Okay, very good. Yeah,
See?
that might be a little bit before my time.
It all comes around.
It does.
Thank you both for coming in. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, thank you, Todd.
It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.
Wrap up the year sales event going on right now at Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. The Hemi is back for 2026. Ram 1500s with several in stock. Or order yours now and receive huge discounts. Plus on all 2026 Ram 1500s, receive a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty.